Hey there, and welcome back to FMA. Today, we'll be focusing on the first episode of the series, Lior. For those who have seen the DBZA episode breakdowns, this will be similar fare with some narrative context added in on why I chose some of these particular shots. So, to preface this, I know Brotherhood doesn't start with Lior. It begins with an anime original episode and then gives us the backstory before Lior hits. This structure is terrible. So we're using the manga structure instead. Actually, wait, before we move on, can we talk about this for a second? This doesn't make a lick of sense on Brotherhood's part. Like, seriously, it's like they intentionally tried to make Brotherhood unable to stand on its own right from the beginning. They even tried very badly to copy how 2003 built up its backstory. Why? Excellent question. I'll get back to you on that when I eventually go insane trying to figure out how they screwed up the manga structure this bad so quickly. This means we're removing the first episode almost entirely, and moving the second episode to the Devlith arc, where it belongs. We'll get into the details of how both will be handled later. With all that out of the way, let's take a look at the Lior project timeline. I know this looks pretty complicated, but it's pretty standard once you know what purpose each of these channels serves. The two bottom channels are for Brotherhood audio and post-production music. The two above that are 2003 audio channels. Above that is the main video channel. And finally at the top is the post-production video channel, which is mostly used for manga panels. Now let's take a closer look at the important edits. So right off the gate, I decided to keep in Brotherhood Season 1 introduction. While I considered using 2003's human transmutation scene, as it's beautifully directed, this intro fills the void of the manga's first page with better tonal accuracy compared with 2003. It also keeps more of the mystery that will pay off about halfway through Lior. I also moved the normal OP to the end, as 2003 did for its first episode, for the same purpose. This intro isn't going to be continued after episode 1 though, mostly seeing as it's not interesting enough to fit the same purpose as 2003's similar setup. I considered including that as well, but it doesn't fit as well into Mangahood's overall story. After that, we mostly roll into 2003's version of Lior. Yeah, this episode is a bit unique as it'll mainly be comprised of 2003 footage and manga panels, as, unfortunately, the Brotherhood version of Lior has some pretty bad shot composition throughout, so a lot of it's unusable. We'll do our best though, and use what we can from it. This shot of Al transmuting, for instance. Things mostly run smoothly after that, but once we get the scene with Cray trying to kill the brothers, things begin to go wrong. We have to use manga panels starting here, but at least 2003 has some great inclusions of the Chimera battle. Once more, we switch to Brotherhood, which aside from being a little too silly, functions just fine here, until finally moving back to the manga in 2003 as we wrap things up. Then, as stated previously, we end with the regular OP as the episode draws to a close. There's also an alternate ending to Lior that uses Broho's version of this scene. In spite of better lighting compared with the 2003 version that was used in the final, this one had some continuity problems with the condition of the church by this point in the story. Normally this wouldn't be a big deal, but this scene gets all of its power from the building being destroyed. The manga did this correctly, but Brotherhood dropped the ball here yet again, hence why it didn't make it into the final. And that's it for Lior. Overall, not a bad start to this whole project, especially since Lior is perhaps the most lacking in manga accuracy from either adaptation. We'll need to come back to those manga panels at some point, but aside from that, we've got a solid start to FMA. Tune in next time on FMA, where we'll go through two more Brotherhood omissions, the mining town and the battle on the train. See you then.